Quavo, Takeoff, they was down here with y'all. But they seen you walking by. He's laying on the ground. You got Mike bending down, and they seen you walking by. What took place there?
This the crazy thing about that video, right? Is
this is a problem, J Prince, and I'm gonna tell you like this: if you're 60 years old and you trying to be a street you failed. You failed. I'm telling you this.
Hey, man. Yeah, man. We got a little bit of straightening going on. Yeah.
Welcome back to Fame Flux, where the truth behind fame gets exposed. This isn't just some typical industry beef. This is turning into a full-blown war, and it's been building behind the scenes for a while. But now, it's finally exploding out into the open. Mase just lit the match with a bombshell. He exposed a private phone call between J Prince and Takeoff, something nobody expected to come to light. And the reaction? J Prince is spiraling. We're talking threats, panic mode, full-on damage control from all angles. But here's the twist. Mase didn't fold under pressure. He doubled down, clapped back, and dropped serious heat on the Princes. What Mase said hit hard, not just because it was bold, but because he voiced what many have been quietly whispering for months. Things people have been afraid to speak on publicly. And now, everything is unraveling, while the streets are still demanding real answers about what really went down the night Takeoff was killed in Houston. That night remains cloudy. There's missing footage, witnesses who went quiet, and two names that refuse to disappear: J Prince Jr. and DJ Pat. And with this private phone call now coming to light, the situation has taken a major turn. But here's the wildest part. If what Mase is claiming turns out to be true, this isn't just a case of bad public relations. It could be a cover-up for something much more serious. Stay locked in, because in this video, there's proof. From witness tweets to podcast threats, unseen clips, and even bail-related rumors, the receipts are stacking up fast. Social media is on fire, and people aren't holding back. J Prince is being labeled everything from a fake community leader to a cartel-style fixer, with many even saying he's got blood on his hands. And this situation, it's way beyond typical YouTube drama.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing: when you're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little like the way you talking. I don't get what you mean. We're not your little like for.
This goes deep. Right back to Takeoff's final moments, the mob ties connection, and the growing panic now that the wrong voice is speaking out loud. Here's the setup. Mase had been quiet, playing it calm, watching everything unfold. But once J Prince started throwing subliminals on $1 million worth of game, the silence ended. Mase and Cameron had stayed tight-lipped about what went down in Houston for months. But when Prince started crossing lines with coded messages and public jabs, Mase had enough. What Mase revealed flipped everything. He claimed to have heard a private call, a direct conversation between J Prince and Takeoff, just hours before the tragedy. And according to him, this wasn't a casual check-in, it was pressure. Mase said Prince was allegedly pressing Takeoff about behind-the-scenes loyalty moves, and the tone? It wasn't friendly, it wasn't brotherly, it sounded like a power play. This wasn't some disagreement between peers. Mase painted the picture of someone trying to control the chessboard from the shadows. And when Takeoff stopped playing along, everything changed. The shift in energy, the tension, and the suspicious timing of it all, that's what's rattling everyone watching. Now people are starting to wonder if what's been brushed off as street politics might actually be something far more calculated. The streets are buzzing, and the questions are only getting louder.
You wasn't really right there with Takeoff when he was alive, you know what I mean? So
the alleged phone call between J Prince and Takeoff reportedly happened the very same night Takeoff was tragically killed outside that Houston bowling alley. A dice game gone wrong, a heated argument, then gunfire. And just like that, Takeoff was gone at only 28 years old. And once Mase brought that call into the spotlight, J Prince completely snapped. Prince jumped online with cryptic posts and veiled threats, clearly rattled by Mase's decision to speak. He didn't just respond, he doubled down on previous shade he had already thrown at Offset, accusing him of not being around when Takeoff was alive. You wasn't really there with Takeoff when he was alive. Prince said in a now viral clip. Cold, dismissive, and filled with tension. That comment sparked a public clash between Offset and Jay Prince. With Cardi B jumping in to defend her partner. But now that Mase has exposed this private conversation, Prince's damage control isn't cutting it. The streets are watching closer than ever, and they're not letting up. As one user on X posted, nobody respects Jay Prince after what happened to Takeoff on his watch. Here's where things get even more suspicious. Not long after Takeoff's death, Patrick Xavier Clark, also known as DJ Pat, was arrested and charged in connection to the case. But somehow, DJ Pat was able to post a massive $1 million bond and walk free, fast. That kind of release raised eyebrows immediately. The street started whispering, how did he get out so quick? And who had the power to make it happen? And then there's the alleged moment caught on video. Jay Prince supposedly walking past Takeoff's body and saying, "Call that, don't ask me none about that." That clip has been circulating online, fueling even more speculation that something bigger and darker might be in play. Things got even more suspicious when it came out that Jay Prince Jr. reportedly requested his name be removed from DJ Pat's bond condition paperwork. If that's not a red flag, what is? They were all together the night Takeoff was killed. So why remove your name unless you're trying to quietly back away from something that's now under the microscope? But DJ Pat isn't the only one. Remember Cameron Joshua, better known as Lil Cam Fifth? He got picked up on weapon charges not long after Takeoff's death. And just like DJ Pat, he has alleged ties to mob ties. The deeper you look, the more it becomes clear. Individuals tied to Jay Prince Jr. keep ending up at the center of deadly situations, but somehow, mob ties continues to play the victim. The streets, they're no longer buying that narrative. And let's not forget, Takeoff wasn't even the first warning sign. Months before, Duke the Jeweler flew into Houston, reportedly checked in with mob ties, joined a dice game, and ended up dead. Same formula, same eerie silence. Jay Prince's name floating in the background. Again. And then there's that clip of Jay Prince calmly telling his shotgun man to fall back during the chaos. The move looked less like instinct and more like coordination. There's a disturbing pattern here. Invite high-profile guests to Houston. Demand they check in with mob ties, set the scene with a dice game, tension brews, security stays passive, and someone ends up in a body bag. Then afterward, Prince delivers a poetic PR statement about grief being the price of love and speaks on unity. But the reality, people are dying and no real accountability is happening. The streets are no longer moved by the speeches. They're asking the real question, where were those words when blood hit the pavement? To this day, not a single member of the Prince family showed up to Takeoff's funeral. And that silence, it speaks volumes. For many, it's more than suspicious, it's telling. There's a growing belief that the reason they stayed away is because they know what's up. The allegations are heavy, and the streets are saying it loud. The Princes allegedly have blood on their hands, and they're keeping their distance because they feel the heat. Jay Prince Jr. even went on social media, tweeting cryptic things like, "Don't wear jewelry around vultures." But if he knew the environment wasn't safe, why invite guests like Quavo and Takeoff into that kind of setup? If you know the room's hot, why not warn the people you're supposed to be protecting? And that brings it back to the so-called check-in system. If artists are still getting gunned down after checking in, what's the point? What's it really protecting? Quavo was reportedly seen arguing with Jay Prince Jr. moments before shots rang out. Now, newly surfaced footage shows Prince Jr. brushing off the whole incident like he has no connection to it. Like Takeoff wasn't just murdered on his watch, surrounded by his circle. But then things hit another level. After Prince's shady comments on $1 million worth of game, Mase went off. He didn't just defend himself, he came straight for Jay Prince's entire image. No filter, no backing down, live and direct. We are not your little boxy. The words hit hard. That wasn't a tweet. That wasn't for views. It was a direct call out to a system that's been built on silence and control. Mase wasn't just speaking for himself, he was speaking for everyone who's been pushed around by that unspoken street code. And what made his words hit even harder? The fact that nobody else had the courage to say it until now. Cam'ron didn't interrupt. He didn't correct. He didn't even flinch. He just sat back and let Mase unload everything, which says a lot. Cam is known for moving carefully, calculating every word and cosign. But this time, he gave Mase the floor. And that silence, that was its own statement. Now fans are convinced Mase had that leaked call tucked away, waiting for the right moment, and J Prince gave him the green light by slipping up publicly. Mase wasn't guessing, he came prepared. And when Prince decided to throw subliminals and name drops, it played right into Mase's hand. Meanwhile, Offset had kept quiet through most of the drama. He hadn't fed the headlines. But when J Prince tried to publicly question his loyalty to Takeoff, that silence ended fast. Offset snapped, and right behind him, Cardi B stepped in with the kind of energy only she brings. She didn't hesitate, and she made it clear they weren't scared of mob ties, street status or not. That moment shifted everything. It wasn't just rap drama anymore. A mainstream power couple had called out the streets on their own turf. Suddenly, J Prince's street reputation wasn't intimidating. It was under investigation, and the fallout didn't stop there. This part flew under the radar for many, but those paying close attention have noticed something. Big names are backing away. Drake, who used to ride hard for mob ties, not a word. No reposts, no shout-outs. And that's saying something, especially since Jazz Prince was the one who helped launch Drake's career through Wayne and Young Money. But since Takeoff's death, Drake's been silent. Same with JayZ. Whispers around the industry say Hav hasn't responded to a single mob ties message or request since this mess started. When the most connected artists in the game go ghost, that's not random, that's strategy. And J Prince's grip on the culture, it's starting to slip. Peace calls have been going out since early 2023, but nothing's changed. And here's the thing about JayZ and the other big names in this industry. They don't do public beef. They don't tweet subs. They don't do interviews throwing shade. They just stop answering your calls. Quiet distance. Why? Because they've got billion-dollar partnerships, corporate deals, and empires to protect. Getting caught up in federal heat over street drama is a risk they're not taking, especially with the shadows still lingering from the Takeoff situation. Now that Mase is publicly putting behind-the-scenes conversations on blast, the silence strategy ain't working anymore. J Prince and mob ties can't duck behind cryptic quotes and podcast speeches. The pressure is here, and it's not going away. Let's get real. The power mob ties had didn't come from music. It came from the check-in culture, that unspoken rule that said if you pulled up in Houston, you had to link with J Prince Jr. to move safely. That protection gave them status. But now, that whole system is crumbling in real time. Duke the jeweler checked in. Takeoff checked in. Both ended up dead. And now social media is flooded with posts saying exactly what people are thinking. This is why nobody checks in anymore. The ones demanding respect can't even keep their guests safe. Even artists from the West Coast are weighing in. Some are calling the check-in system a scam, a local flex to create fake power. Street politics disguised as protocol. And when Mase finally said out loud what people had been whispering for years, that J Prince is just a failed street boss playing mob boss, it echoed loud. Because truth wrapped in silence only holds for so long. And now, the silence is shattered. The internet couldn't unsee it. And once people started asking the right questions, things started looking real sketchy. Let's talk about one of the biggest red flags in this whole situation: the missing witnesses. The night Takeoff was killed outside 810 Billiards and Bowling in Houston, there were reportedly over 40 people present. We've all seen the videos. We've heard the noise. The crowd was thick. So why haven't more people come forward? The word on the street? Some witnesses were threatened into silence. There are serious allegations flying that mob ties might have paid off certain individuals, deleted key footage, and ensured that DJ Patrick Xavier Clark, took the fall alone. And now one of the wildest theories has resurfaced. J. Prince Jr. was allegedly in a heated argument with Quavo, not Takeoff. But somehow, Takeoff was the one who got hit. That's got people wondering. Was it a tragic accident, or was it a warning gone wrong? Now here's where it gets next level. Sources close to Mase and Cam'ron's circle are saying there's a real chance that the phone call between Prince and Takeoff was recorded. Maybe by accident, maybe intentionally. Either way, there may be audio out there. And rumor is, Cam and Mase are allegedly holding on to it, keeping it in the vault in case Prince tries to move funny or flip the narrative again. If that recording ever leaks, it could blow the entire story wide open. The world would hear exactly what J. Prince said to Takeoff, whether there were threats, manipulation, or pressure behind the scenes. And let's not forget, this isn't just any random person holding that info. This is Mase, the same one who walked away from Diddy, battled against the industry machine, and came back swinging. If that call goes public, it wouldn't just damage J. Prince's image. It could destroy the legacy he spent decades trying to build. This might be the real mob ties indictment, and not just in the court of public opinion. The feds have been watching closely. This isn't just about rap fans, bloggers, or online speculation anymore. Every time J. Prince or his son steps in front of a camera talking slick, federal eyes are watching. And now that Mase is speaking up, those same ears are listening a whole lot closer. This is bigger than music beef. RICO laws don't care about your legacy in hip-hop. They're built to track patterns, alleged witness tampering, intimidation, threats, and anything that looks like organized crime activity. And when public voices like Offset, Cam'ron, Mase, and even fans start echoing the same claim, that blood is on your hands, industry connections won't shield you. Not your reputation, not your label, not even your city. The check-in culture, it crumbles fast when legal paperwork starts circulating. Through all the noise, it's important to remember what this was really about. Takeoff, the quiet heart of Migos. A peaceful, laid-back artist who wasn't chasing clout or beef. He was about bars, loyalty, and energy. A lyrical genius who never needed the spotlight to prove his worth. And the fact that his life was taken during a dice game in an environment he was told was safe, surrounded by people who claimed to love and protect him, that's the true heartbreak. That's the tragedy that overshadows everything. All the egos, power plays, and street codes mean nothing when a life like that is lost. And now, the streets, the fans, and the law, they're all watching. The truth is closing in fast. J. Prince posted his condolences on Instagram, writing, "Grief is the price of love," but the streets weren't buying it. Because real ones don't want poetic captions when blood was spilled under your watch, and you walked away like nothing ever happened. What people are asking for now isn't social media sympathy, PR-friendly interviews, or vague podcast talk. They want something solid. They want truth. The streets are done staying quiet. They're demanding real answers. And what Mase did wasn't just a response. It cracked the silence wide open. His words didn't just clap back at J. Prince. They exposed the fact that fear no longer runs the room. That grip Prince once had, it's slipping. And if he doesn't stop trying to control the story, he just might lose it all. From that leaked phone call to the growing number of witnesses going quiet, from artists slowly backing away to federal eyes staying locked in, this is no longer just a rap dispute. It's become a storm of accountability. Prince snapped. Mase snapped back. Now the world is watching every move. So if you're still tuned in, drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this saga's just heating up, and there's way more coming next.